The Frisco Art Department offers students the opportunity to express their creativity. Mr. Jackson, Miss Blair, and Mr. Newman are the 3 art teachers here in Frisco High School.
What I hope the students get out of taking my art classes is that you come away with some skills and a lot of different art making techniques, as well as the opportunity to express yourself in a variety of creative ways.
I've taken art basically more or less my entire school career. It's always been one of the things I've enjoyed, but I like it because it gives you the real freedom to work with what your mind gives you and make something new that you've probably never made before. And I really love it, just because of the freedom it gives you.
I think it makes you have a really good sense of creativity and you get to express yourself.
I really like how it's a stress-free environment because I just get to come in here and listen to music and work on my art with my friends.
There are a wide variety of classes available, including special classes that students show interest in.
Well, we have a huge variety of art classes available coming up next year. A student can take Pre-AP Art 1, obviously. They can also take AP 3D, which is what's behind me right now. You can also take AP Drawing, AP 2D Design. We also have classes such as Ceramics, where it's all clay, and we do all the different things you can do with clay, and other courses like that.
What I enjoy most about AP 3D art is I like the creative freedom you have. Like mine was initially just a spider and I thought it was kind of plain, so I added a guy riding it, and then I just put this cowboy hat on. So I'm kind of adding more ideas as it goes on, and I like this class a lot.
We just kind of get to come in and work on what we've been working on.
If you want a chance to display your art skills before graduation, you might consider joining one of the many art classes offered here at FHS. Who knows, you might have a hidden talent that you have never been aware of before. For Racc TV, I am Nathaniel D'Amato.
Physics can be one of the most difficult classes that upperclassmen can enroll in. Because of this, physics teachers use a variety of fun exercises to try to help students understand some basic physics concepts more easily. For example, students in Mr. Smith's class recently used bubble wrap to learn more about pressure.
So what we hope they get out of the exercise is that they understand that force is pressure times area, and that you can minimize the pressure by increasing the surface area of the shoe as you walk across the bubble wrap. So the inverse relationship between pressure and force and area.
Students made their own pair of shoes and attempted to walk across bubble wrap without popping any of the bubbles.
We learned to decrease the pressure on the bubble wrap. We would have to use a larger area to spread out the force on the bubbles.
For me, doing something is always better than sitting in a lecture. So to actually make something to put this theorem into use helps it stick with me better than just doing busy work and classroom activities.
Creative experiments and exercises are often more effective in helping students grasp difficult concepts, and they make the class more fun at the same time. What have you learned lately? For Racc TV, I'm Pace McDonald.
Popular sports like football, basketball, and baseball have been part of the high school experience for as long as we can remember. One of the fastest growing high school sports is wrestling. More students are becoming involved in wrestling than ever before, and Frisco High School is a part of that trend.
This year we've got a lot of kids coming out. We're looking at about 75 kids. We've got 15 girls. It's the biggest our girls program's been since about 2010. So we're excited about that. We've got 4 returning kids that have advanced to regionals. We've got 3 coming back that advanced to state. So we're excited about that. So we're real excited about our numbers.
Though wrestling is a team sport, it is up to the individual to compete one-on-one.
Wrestling is really a mind thing. It's always mental. Whatever the first person does, you have to think of counter reactions to it. You always have to be thinking, you always have to be in your stance.
Wrestling is a little bit different, not only because it's harder mentally, but physically it's so much more elevated than such as football or baseball or even soccer. The conditioning and just the mental part of it is just a beatdown.
One of the things I enjoy most about wrestling is how much of a family this is, and you can hit and throw anybody, and at the end of the day we'll still be able to come together as one and be just happy together. This is my safe place.
As tough as wrestling can be, the wrestlers look forward to the challenge.
For For me, actually, one of the biggest challenges is like being one of the smallest people on the team. Like always finding a partner. You can't always lift someone that's a lot heavier than you, but it actually at the same time it really helps me because I get a lot stronger when I wrestle people my weight. It's a lot easier.
Some of the biggest challenges in wrestling is coming back every day and doing it. Wrestling is such a beat-down sport, such a physical and brutal sport. It's a beat-down every day, so you gotta commend us whenever we come back and do it every day. So.
Another thing is you have to be able to remember all the skills that you've already learned and just trying your best not to be pinned by someone who's like 7 times stronger than you.
The season does not officially begin until November, but they are training hard as they head into another season. The Blue and Gold Wrestling Duel is coming up on Wednesday, November 13th in the main gym. Come out and support our wrestlers. For Racc TV, I'm Hannah Vo.
As high school students, many of us cannot remember a time when we did not get dressed up for Halloween and go trick-or-treating. It's something that we've always done, but what should we do as we get older? Is there a cutoff age for trick-or-treating?
What age do you think it's appropriate to stop trick-or-treating?
Never.
25 maybe?
Never. 19.
Never.
Yeah,
never.
19 most definitely. You gotta go.
I mean, like, you could be doing it like as a prank, like dressing up with your friends, being silly, but don't go to houses.
What do you think is the appropriate age to stop trick-or-treating?
13.
Why?
Because you turn in your teens, 13, then you just was 12, so you need to grow up.
I'd say probably around 15 or 16 because if I was an adult and a grown teenager came to my door, I would probably tell him to go away.
What would you rather be doing on Halloween?
Probably going to a friend's house and just having a Halloween party or something. I don't know.
Probably when you're about 12.
Why?
Because I stopped trick-or-treating at 12. Now I just go out with my friends to haunted houses and stuff like that.
I'd say sophomore year because that's when you're finally transitioned out of childhood and out of that middle school kid vibe. So
maybe when you're around 18 because no one wants to see an 18-year-old at their door asking for candy. It's creepy.
Same thing. I don't think anyone wants to dress up and go to people's house and get candy for no reason.
It's never an appropriate age to type trick-or-treating because I'm 15. I'm going trick-or-treating when Halloween comes.
I just like candy, so why not?
I think you should be 21 to stop.
I think you could be whatever age you want to stop.
When you get a job. Why? Because you got money and you can buy the candy.
It's tough growing up and taking on adult responsibilities, but that doesn't mean we need to stop having fun. Having costume parties and going to scary movies is another way to have fun on Halloween. After all, if adults went trick-or-treating, who would hand out the candy? For Racc TV, I'm Sydney Soliday.
Good morning, fellow raccoons. Welcome to the Weekend Weather Watch. I'm Broccoli Mills.
And I'm Mason Wiak.
How's the weather up there?
I've never heard that before. It's cold up here.
It's cold down here, too. Hey, did you go trick-or-treating last night?
Are you kidding? I gave that up in middle school. Didn't you?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And speaking of the weather,
today will be sunny with a high of 60 and a low of 40.
Saturday will also be sunny with a high of 60 and a low of 39.
And Sunday warms up just a bit with a high of 62 and a low of 46.
So, Mason, what's going on this weekend?
First of all, the swim team will be in FISD Invitational Diving Meet this afternoon at 3:30 at the Natatorium. They will come back on Saturday at 10 a.m. for a regular meet.
The annual senior bonfire gets underway later tonight at 8:30 at the Plano Farmstead Heritage Museum. The cool weather is a perfect excuse for a bonfire. By the way, what's with the clock?
That's a very timely question. This is the weekend that we fall backward.
How so?
Daylight saving time ends this weekend, and we return to standard time by turning the clock backwards an hour late Saturday night, Sunday morning.
That's great. I'll get an extra hour of sleep. What will you do with your extra hour, Mason? Change clocks?
Hey, pick on someone your own size.
I would, but Bradley graduated. Anything else, Mason?
Nah, it's a slam dunk from here. For Racc TV, I'm Mason Wiak.
And I'm Broccoli Mills.